server or not, a Linux server or not. Splunkd will automatically runs, and you see here runs as service and start child process. The service starts and stops like Windows Server. See, when I say Splunk is running, that means Splunk daemon is running.
Yes.
Okay. So whenever the Splunk daemon is running, it will create different IDs.
It creates what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Process IDs. Process IDs.
Process
PID.
ID. Yes. Okay.
I think you're aware, or
Yeah. Process ID. Okay.
yeah. Whenever the Splunk is running, it will be creating different process IDs. Here it is. Here he is saying that it will start child processes.
Okay.
Now you see, this is somewhat important to the directory structure in Splunk. So usually we'll be installing Splunk in OPT Splunk folder. OPT. Where the Splunk will be installed usually in our OPT. Splunk gets installed on Linux.
Okay.
This is important thing. Usually people ask, where do you install Splunk? You'll install Splunk in OPT folder. And now OPT Splunk is our home directory. Where is Splunk home? It is in OPT Splunk.
Yes.
Going forward, everywhere it will be showing Splunk _ home. But in real scenario, we are having OPT Splunk. And in the OPT Splunk, when you install, it is coming with bin, etc and var. etc and var. Okay, in the bin directory, we are having executables. Whatever the script, whatever the Linux scripts or Python scripts, whatever the scripts you want to run, you always need to go in bin directory and you need to run all these executables. Definitely a bin directory is there to take over the scripts. And in the etc, we are having all the license details and configuration details. What is this license details? Are nothing but whatever the licenses are running, or when it is going to expire, all the details related to license will be in the etc folder. But what about these configurations? In the etc, we are having all the configurations related to inputs, output, props, indexes.configurations, everything. Whatever the configurations you are defining, either it may be deployment server or indexer or any server of Splunk, will be defining everything in etc directory only.
Okay.
In the etc directory only, you'll be defining this. And where library Splunk indexes will be there. Indexes, in the sense, what I can say is like, in the var library Splunk indexes. So we are having different stages of indexes. The first stage is hot bucket, warm bucket, hot, warm, cold buckets are there while defining indexes. It is also it will cover in the coming classes. So what configurations are there for indexes? It will all go into Splunk. Not configurations, but the bucket related to index go into Splunk, and the index configurations also will be coming in etc only. Here indexes means buckets and its storage location. You said no retention period. If suppose the retention period is for 6 months, then all the data here are getting stored here, Splunk indexes, in the form of DB, form of database. And here you see in the etc, if I talk about configurations, it is nothing but apps. And in the etc we are having system. System is nothing but Splunk is coming with some system default settings. Some default will be defined here. Whatever, for example, limits.configuration. Here Splunk should only work with these limits. So everything will be coming under system. If you want to modify, you can modify that. It's not a big deal. Users, whoever the users are present. In etc only. Again in the etc, in apps we are having search and reporting, as we are daily seeing it. When you want to run something, go into search and reporting. Launcher is nothing but when you first open your Splunk, whatever the page you are seeing, that is nothing but launcher. Modify it if you want to change it to different application. By default it is coming with search and reporting. If you want to change this launcher, you can do it. And custom applications, whatever the applications we are defining for different applications. So this is the directory structure. And going forward, now you are seeing the directory structure like this, but going forward you'll be knowing which priority it is taking. So if I define something in etc and the same I'm defining something in apps, for example, and the same thing I have defined in system also. Splunk will consider which one, apps or system. That priorities will be defined going forward. I think it is taking a lot of time. Still we are in the first module only. Okay. The starting, no, that is the reason I am explaining you slowly to understand each and everything. But I'll be moving a little bit speed going forward. At that time, you'll be knowing what is forwarder, DES, everything you'll be coming. So if I go speed also, you'll understand.
Okay.
Okay, Splunk process. Can you see the screen Splunk process?
Yeah.
Because in the GoToMeeting, I could not see this Splunk process. Okay. So process, as I told, these are some processes. For Splunk D and Splunk Web, he has given some differences. 8089 SSL, this is but secured socket. So it is in the Linux. Mostly he's talking about Linux and Splunk browser. He has taken some example with the Splunk D along with Splunk Web. And 809 and Splunk browser, it is 8000 port. It runs on 8000. By default, it is running on 8089. And use Splunk child process. In the process, Splunk web proxy, KV store, introspection services, scripted inputs, scripted alerts, everything will be coming under this processes. Whatever the process running in Splunk D. Incoming data. So if I say about okay, when you are running something on Splunk, input. So when you configure, I'll restart my Splunk service. Why to get that the changes affected in the server, I'll restart the Splunk service. So immediately after making some changes on a server, you cannot expect that to be seen in a search head. Unless and until you restart, it will not work.
Okay.
So when you restart the services, some of the searches will be running in the background. Those are nothing but this. Whenever these processes are running, some PIDs will be generated again. Process IDs will be generated. And coming to web, it provides both search and management front end for Splunk D process. both search and management. So whatever we are searching and whatever the Splunk process, it will be show us in the browser used user interface only. Talking about Splunk Web. Here, the backend. It will access all the indexes, incoming data. It will access processes. As you know this already. It will handle all such requests and returns results. Also, because indexes, because in the search head, when you are writing some query, it will take that query from the indexes and then it will provide us results. For this everything, Splunk is the main component which is running in the background to make all these functionalities. If Splunk is stopped, Splunk is stopped. No more Splunk will be working. So that is the reason he has given this handles search request, index processing, incoming, everything under Splunk. And here if you see, it is Splunk. This is nothing but our user interface. You'll log in with our username and password. About this Splunk web, but Splunk is important. Here he has given, as I have shown you, administrators will be having the settings like this: 1, 2. In the server settings, general settings. See here in the system, server settings in the 2. Can you see?
Yeah.
In the 2.
It's kind of very tiny, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in the settings he has given 1, 2, 3. In server settings, we are having some server settings in the web. If you go in server settings, you are seeing all this. It identifies server, what server is there, what is the home page, what is the Splunk port, default host name. Default name means server. This is, and for this specific server, they have defined some default host name. So when I want to give this server name to you, I'll give the default host name. If I want to change it, I can change it. I can do it. Where you can do it in general settings.
Okay.
If index different volume. If you change the indexes, you can change it. See, in the index also, along with retention period, you having how much data volume that has to be stored. Period. If I write some 2 gigabytes of data, it has to be stored, then it will store only 2 gigabytes of data. Whatever the data, if the data is beyond 2 gigabytes also, it will not store, because I have already 2 gigabytes. This will also be helpful to your question. Initially you have asked something, no? For that.
Okay.
Minimum free space prevents the file system are being filled by Splunk. See, it is going to use some free space. You should not use entire space. Data loss can occur if this value is reached. This is also important, which is related to your question.
Okay.
If anything changes is happening, you need to restart Splunk.
Okay.
So in the general, if you want to change the port number or the default Splunk location or the default host name or the volume of the indexes, everything can be done in the general setting. How to restart Splunk? You can restart Splunk from either backend or through UI, user interface. In the general settings only, you are having an option called restart Splunk. In controls, server controls, if you click on server, you'll be seeing the restart Splunk option. In the server controls restarter, restart Splunk.
Okay.
But in the server settings, you can settings.
Is there which way is preferred? Like less harmful?
Sorry.
Which way is preferred or less harmful, to start from the interface or from the back end?
Same. Anything is same. We are restarting Splunk.
Okay, so they both work the same?
Both works the same. But
Okay.
what I would prefer is if you are making some configuration changes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. If you restart Splunk, what is happening is all the configuration files will be triggered again. So you are making changes in one of the application. Till one Apple One folder, you are making some changes.
Okay.
So when you are restarting Splunk, Apple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the applications get triggered again. But what I want to be a trigger only Apple One, because I have made changes only to Apple One. At that
I
time,
see.
debug here, debug refresh. So debug refresh, what it will do is like what configurations you have changed on a specific application, only that will be triggered.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense.
So I would prefer to debug refresh
Okay.
instead of restarting Splunk. But you also need to make sure that when you are doing debug refresh, only configurations will be changed.
Okay.
That will also covered in this document. No issues. You'll understand. Now you have asked something. That is the reason I have shown you. And restarting the Splunk service through UI or the backend is same.
Okay.
And Splunk command line interface, it is all showing all the commands for Windows server, Windows Splunk server. So now you remember one thing: whatever the commands you are running, that has to be doing from bin directory. You need to run each and every command from bin directory only. I said initially, the bin directory is handling the executables. That is the reason you need to run the commands through bin directory. And it is for Windows Server, we are not writing any /. If you see for Linux servers, whatever the command we are writing, you should definitely write /. // you need to write.
Okay.
But Windows Server, you no need to write this /. You can directly write Splunk start.
Yes.
So
Okay.
these are the commands which are used for Windows. Splunk help, Splunk start, stop, or restart. Everything is same. Splunk, if you want to start, you will write Splunk start. Splunk stop, Splunk restart. For Splunk license, this is the initial command when you are trying to accept the license. When you are installing the Splunk, you need to accept the license. You have directly check marked. You did some mark in the check.
Okay.
For Linux, you need to add this accept license. Splunk status. It will show whether Splunk D is running or not.
Okay.
Show Splunk D port. It will show 8089 web port. It will show 8000 port. Show server name. It will show the server name default. This DMC. This is important thing in our Splunk. DMC is nothing but distributed management console. Will normally called as monitoring console. Two names for this. One is distributed management console or monitoring console. Both are same.
Okay.
So this is very important because if your Splunk collects a lot of data, DMC is a Splunk admin that will monitor performance resource usage. So in the DMC, in Splunk environment, we are having some 5 servers. So you cannot go into each and every server and check its memory percentage always. Or you can each and every server and you cannot see which application alert is running, which report, which dashboard is running. At that time, what I'll do, I'll configure all the 5 servers in this DMC, Distributed Management Console. So DMC will help us to know the Splunk performance resource usage.
So this is not available to the Splunk users. It's only for the Splunk admin.
Yeah, it is only for Splunk admins.
Okay.
If you want, you can provide access to users. They want to see. But usually we don't do it. Only admins will be handling all this.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you see here, this Splunk performance usage can be visible in this distributed management console. If any of your 5 servers are there, if any of your server went down, so you cannot go into each and every server and check whether Splunk is running or not. So if you go into this DMC, it will be easy for you to see what all the servers are running and what all So this will be configured in the initial stage only. Our vendor will be helping us to configure all this, all the servers in your environment with this DMC.
Okay.
The larger environment, we are using a separate server called Lighter to monitor all this.
You broke up. I didn't hear any of what you said.
Okay.
The last thing you said.
Yeah, in the larger environment, we'll be having a separate server to monitor all this.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But when you are having 5 or 6 servers, you can add this DMC in the indexer only, indexer server only.
Okay, but more than 5 or 6 indexers, so you need a separate environment.
Yeah, it is better to have a separate license master.
I see. Okay.
See how to enable this DMC. You should go to settings. DMC is nothing but one of the dashboard. Closed it or what?
Hey Shifa Jyoti, can we stop in the next 5 minutes? Because I have another appointment.
Yeah. We'll bind it. Okay. I just want to show the DMC. Settings. Monitoring console. Monitoring console is nothing but DMC only.
So it's called either monitoring console or DMC?
Yeah. In the latest version, here the enterprise 8.0.3. This is the latest version. You see all the resource utilizations. Here the settings, monitoring setup.
Okay.
In the settings, in the general setup, he asked us to define the settings. See, apply changes. That's all. Yeah, we are done. Lab 1, nothing but you need to connect with 8000 web to install Splunk, and you need to connect indexer. We are actually done with this. Execute Splunk like commands to be executed. and with your computer he is asking to connect with Indexer. If you are having any other server, or you can do it.
Okay, so is there a way you can send me at least module 1 slides so I can review?
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
Do you need me to send you my email address?
Yeah.
I'll put it on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.